What's going on, y'all? I'm the Home Slice Ascend Hyperion. Over the past decade, esports has grown immensely in size and style. Events that were once small-time showdowns in a high school gym have moved to massive multi-million-dollar venues funded by huge corporations. Modern esports is far more akin to the opulent styles of regular sportscasting. It now features talk shows, commentators, leagues, teams, and of course jerseys. But with the rise of esports, there's been a rise of attention delivered to the institution by game devs. There's a potential profit for developers to make their games esports friendly, as pro players attract attention and engagement to your title. But while it's true that esports can be beneficial to a game's success, the degree of success is a topic of uncertainty. Over the past few years, a mentality has arose that claims that if any game truly wants to be successful, it needs a robust and fully supported esports scene. Believers of this idea will assert that nearly every facet of a game's experience should be tailored to the demands of an esports expert and influencers. They tell you that esports is the most important part of any game, and for us, that means Halo. But in today's video, I want to address this idea. Now, let's be clear ahead of time for any angry e-boy already foaming at his keyboard. I'm not about to say that esports aren't important. But if you were to tell me that you think esports is the most important thing to Halo's future, what I'm going to tell you and discuss today is that custom games and user-generated content are actually the most important parts of a Halo game, now, in the past, and into the future. To prove this, I'm going to discuss how user-generated content has engaged players in far wider spans, provided far more hours of actual game engagement, but probably most importantly, how UGC has extended and modified the lifespan of nearly every Halo game. So if you want to see how a match of Duck Hunt is more important than even the highest level MLG playoff, you'll want to settle in. Be sure to join my Discord after the video to hang out and share your thoughts, linked below. Alright, let's get this started. Like I mentioned, the primary idea we're refuting here is that esports is the most important thing to the success of a Halo game. The means by which we rank success need to be defined on fair grounds, so we can compare our info. We're going to define success as follows. The feature brings high player engagement. The feature is integral to the player experience, and finally, the feature has an undeniable impact on the life cycle of the game. These three facets are what we'll attribute to success of a game. So let's start by talking about player engagement. When we look at esports, an immediate flag is raised in regard to who can actually participate. By nature, the field is limited to quote-unquote pros, and clearly not every player is a quote-unquote pro, hopeful or not. So the greater majority of players are excluded from any direct interaction with esports, and they're left to either watch it or just not bother altogether. Halo's biggest esport event on record was HCS 2017, which saw a total of 13 million unique viewers over its span, maxing out at 135,000 concurrent viewers at a time. The championship lasted 3 months, with main events happening each month. Now, these are impressive numbers at first glance, but we've got to remember that these numbers are set in stone, locked within their time frame. This engagement started and ended. It's the same for all other instances of esports. The engagement is along a timeline, fixed and limited. This is where UGC starts to take the edge. Not only are custom games and modes universally accessible to every player, there is much UGC that is an integrated part of matchmaking. In Halo 5, for example, modes like Griffball, Infection, Extermination, and Action Sack, literally just to name a few, utilize custom maps and custom game types. So at any given time, a player just queuing into regular multiplayer has the potential, if not a guaranteed chance, to play a custom map or mode. That's ignoring custom lobbies hosted privately and via Custom's browser. From a raw engagement standpoint, people are playing custom maps and modes hundreds of thousands of times per day. Even the pro playlists utilize player-made content. So, while players might be familiar with esports and might even have watched a match or two, the average player has way more engagement with UGC by magnitudes of difference. So, with engagement of UGC being much higher than that of esports, we can observe how the two affect lifespan of the relevant game. The primary benefit to an esport league is the audience that the content creators bring to a game. People watching a certain creator might not be Halo fans, and by watching esports, they may develop an interest in Halo and start playing it themselves. In this way, esports can be a vessel for introducing new players to a game, but we gotta focus on the word may. There's no guarantee snagging content creators or pros for a game will result in success, and what's more, there's no guarantee new players will become regular, devout players, which is key for longevity. Conversely, UGC offers Halo games two key things. First, UGC can modify and expand the content found in the matchmaking experience. Halo 5 notoriously features a rotation of playlists focused entirely on UGC that runs in cycles, such as the Halo 3 Throwback playlist, Castle Wars, and many others. Rewards and experiences from these playlists help keep the matchmaking experience fresh, and on an even lower level, UGC is used to expand basic playlists with new maps. This trend is also present within the Master Chief Collection. What's more, UGC exists at a local level too. Players have the tools and means to create content for themselves and a small group. That has the potential in itself to grow across the community as well. This is actually how Extermination was born and eventually reached being a ranked matchmaking playlist. But even in scenarios that stay local, players have the means to constantly alter their Halo experience. These alterations of player experience and expansion of delivered content create purpose for current players to keep coming back. You get to experience for yourself something new. Don't get me wrong, esports are absolutely important, and when paired with the right game and executed correctly, they can be highly beneficial to a game's popularity and image in the total gaming sphere. But I think it's more than fair to assert that custom games are far more important when it comes down to the raw player experience. It's a universal form of entertainment with no barrier for entry and has always had an evolving pool of new experience to contribute and choose from. Even to this very day, custom games that were created nearly 13 years ago are being played on streams, in videos, and in lobbies with friends and strangers alike. Can you say the same about esports players from 13 years ago? Can you recount yourself having fun watching a Halo tournament 10 years ago as easily as you can recount the first time you played Speed Halo? If you had to choose between watching Halo for an hour or playing Halo for an hour, wouldn't you rather play it? Esports make for a good poster boy for a game, but when we're talking Halo, custom games become the true lifeblood. When you're sick of playing Team Slayer and getting statted on in CTF, you can always jump into a wacky custom game with a handful or army of other players and enjoy yourself. And that's what's going to keep you coming back after you've reached max rank and unlocked everything there is to unlock. That might be what sets Halo apart from other games where esports is extremely popular. In those games, when you reach max rank and have unlocked everything, what else is there to do besides watch other people play? That's why custom games are the most important part of any Halo game. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you drop your thoughts and comments below. I want to hear them. Slide into my Discord linked at the top of the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.